Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world. So I was a boy, and my parents let my cousin and myself go to a midnight movie, and it was the greatest. To be able to go downtown without chaperones and to stay up past midnight and go see a monster movie was every boy's dream. It was like a coming of age for a boy. And I'm sure my parents were worried, and it wasn't an easy decision for them. I was only 10 at the time, but it was an experience I'll always remember. And the movie wasn't the most sophisticated, especially if you compare it to today's special effects, but to a boy, it was the greatest. It was Godzilla, a low budget Japanese monster movie that has since become one of the greatest and most popular money making franchises in the history of cinema. And I also remember watching the Godzilla movies on Saturday afternoons on Monster Movie Matinee, a weekly television program that had all the old science fiction and monster movies. Anyway, the Godzilla franchise has been one of the most successful in the cinematic universe. It is now the longest running film franchise, having been in production from 1954 and consists of 36 films, and it's still in production today. But the reach of Godzilla is far beyond the movies. It's been in literature, cartoons, television, and music, and has portrayed a number of themes, both scientific and political, and both dark and simpler themes, and even humorous themes for children. For instance, originally, Godzilla was purely a destructive force, but he eventually evolved into an ally of humans and a protector of values and even a hero to children. Godzilla, if you didn't know, is an enormous, destructive, prehistoric sea monster. He was the last of the Godzillasaurus species and was awakened and empowered and strengthened by nuclear radiation from an underwater atomic bomb explosion, which again only goes to show don't blow up atomic bombs underwater. You have no idea what you might wake up or what may mutate. But Godzilla is a kaiju. To the Japanese, this means a giant monster. And Godzilla is king of the monsters, and he's been smashing cities for over 70 years now. He's still going strong and actually has become man's friend and helps mankind when we're having trouble with other monsters. So when the military gets into trouble, who do they call? Godzilla. Of course, there is also a 70-year history with a lot of Easter eggs too with this franchise. Raymond Burr, the iconic actor of the 50s and 60s, was in the first Godzilla movie, yet he never went to Japan to make the movie. So when he looked out the window and he saw Godzilla attacking Tokyo, he was actually looking out the studio window in downtown Los Angeles. And a lot of other stars have been in the series over the years as well. To tell you the truth, and who would have thunk, but the Godzilla producers spared no expense in bringing in good talent into the Godzilla cinematic multiverse. I loved the introduction of Godzilla's son, Minilla. He brought a lot of levity into the movie and was definitely a fan favorite. I also love the twin magical fairies, played by the identical Ito twin sisters who played in the Mothra versions. And of course, all of Godzilla's enemies were classic as well. There was Anguirus, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, mecha-godzilla, and so many others. And there was even a movie called All Monsters Attack. And the more fantastic the movies became, the greater the appeal to audiences, kids and adults alike. Of course, I would be negligent if I didn't comment on Godzilla's most famous enemy, King Kong, in the movie King Kong vs. Godzilla made in 1962. It was a great movie, full of nonstop action and surprises. And of course, you didn't really know who to root for. And to be honest, I was a bigger King Kong fan back then, so I was pulling for him. Anyway, it was so good that American Film Studios, Legendary, and Warner Brothers decided to remake and update it as a release in 2021. And of course, the biggest difference is that you can tell the improvement in the special effects. And they updated the very character of the monsters as well, made them stronger and more gritty, and with several over-the-top scenes, pure action, and underlying themes as well. And that is exactly what a Godzilla fan wants. A touch of drama, a touch of suspense, and a touch of heart. But I do hope the Godzilla franchise doesn't turn it into a horror movie and make it too scary for children, because that would be just a shame. A Godzilla movie has to be fun, it has to be enjoyable and entertaining, and it can't be a blood and gore horror flick. So, writers and directors, please stick to the formula that the people want and the formula that made it successful in the first place. Godzilla received the 2,271st star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in Los Angeles on November 29th, 2004. The star is in front of the Grauman Chinese Theater. And of course, no mention of Godzilla would be complete without an honorable mention of Hiro Nakajima, who played Godzilla in all of those early movies. He did a wonderful job, especially in that hot rubber suit, which was live action and totally different from the stop motion photography that movie studios previously used for monster movies. Unfortunately, Hiro passed in 2014. So, film critics, especially some who take their occupation too seriously and think that every movie has to be an Academy Award winning movie, might say that they just don't like Godzilla, or that it's too campy or silly, absurd, exaggerated, and unbelievable. But that's the thing. That's what makes it work. If you want a romantic comedy, if you want a historical movie, if you want a documentary or a law and order crime drama or a movie about political intrigue, then you've come to the wrong place. But if you want a real adventure, a fantastical movie with underlying themes, if you want to see unbridled strength and full nonstop action, a thriller where you don't know who to root for, you need to know that no matter what the critics say, there is nothing better than a Godzilla movie. And there is no such thing as a bad Godzilla movie, ever. So, if you feel that you're going to be attacked by a giant three-headed monster, or some kaiju from the netherworld, or space alien robots, who are you going to call? Well, it's time for me to go. Hey, stay safe, stay healthy, have some fun, and may God bless.